Aloha, Dr. Melnick. How are you doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Do you have a few minutes that I catch you at a good time?
Yeah, absolutely. I can pause
Okay.
what I'm doing right now.
Thanks a lot. This is such a great view we have in the background, like the ocean, Kaka'ako area. This is the DPT, I guess, the lab space.
Yeah, this is the lab space. Students actually call this area Sunset Corner, which is kind of neat
Oh, that's cool.
because you
Yeah.
can literally see the
Yeah.
sunset over there.
So beautiful. And students are, I know this is a hybrid program.
Mhm.
Students are coming back to town next week?
Correct. So
Okay.
they've been in class for the last 6 weeks. I've been fortunate to be able to be a part of one of the courses we're teaching right now, and then for the next 2 weeks, so starting on Monday, they'll be here and getting to learn and do all the hands-on stuff.
So cool. It's such a cool, unique program. And I think this is the first, 2024, this will be the first graduating class, graduating this year.
Correct. Yeah.
Wow.
So they'll finish this summer. So then
Wow.
they'll be done and ready to go out into the world.
So cool. Wow. Well, well, why don't we start just by telling us a little bit about yourself and your role at HBU?
Sure. So my name is Dr. Jacob Melnick. I'm the Director of Clinical Education within the Physical Therapy program here at HBU. Also serve as assistant professor. So
Okay.
I teach in a few of our courses and get to oversee the clinical education aspect for the students.
Cool. And how long have you been at HBU?
Almost 4 years. It'll be 4 years this summer.
Oh, wow. So, if I know it's off the top of your head, but look, we're doing 5 things you don't know about me, and maybe if you have 5 things
All right.
that you can think of, we can learn a little bit more about you.
Yeah, so I worked for the Air Force for a number of years as a civilian, so not active duty.
Hmm.
But I got to work with a bunch of students when I was in the clinic, and it was a really cool hospital setting because we had an outpatient clinic, we had inpatient acute care, and we also had a primary care clinic. And I got to be in all those different settings with students in each of them, which was
Right.
really neat. But then I had kind of moved up, I think, as much as I could have within that role. And so at that time, Tripler and Schofield here,
Hmm.
the military facilities, offered me a position to work in the pain management clinic. And so I thought, what the heck? Like,
Yeah.
let's give it a shot. And so
Yeah.
I moved out here in 2019.
Well, that's great. What would be a second thing we don't know about you?
I guess we could talk about school and
Sure.
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I started off undergraduate, went to the University of Georgia.
Hmm.
So go Dogs. But
Good
then,
school.
Yeah, no, it was a great school and a really good exercise science program. But then went to Texas State University for physical therapy school. And after that, went to just recently graduated from A.T. Still University, which is
Yeah.
in Phoenix,
Right.
or
So,
Phoenix,
clo-
Arizona area.
Kind of slowly moving your way west. I
Slowly
guess.
made my way west.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so those experiences were really neat though because not only in my undergraduate but also in PT school, I got to go to different places to do clinical work, if you will. So in undergrad, I did a 4-month rotation with basically a weight loss spa to teach exercise classes and things like that in Hilton Head, South Carolina.
Okay.
And then I did a couple of my rotations in PT school in the Austin, Texas area, but also in Anchorage, Alaska,
Oh,
and
Alaska.
Phoenix, Arizona. So
Wow.
got to go
Really
to a few
everywhere. I
different
know
places.
you've been. Yeah, that's great. Okay. What would be a third thing we don't know about you? Maybe travel. Any more travel experiences?
Yeah, I mean, there are so many places I want to go that I haven't been yet. But you know, I've been, let's see, been to Central America a little bit. So you know, Mexico, Belize, Honduras. Made my way over to Japan a few years ago, so got to spend some time in Tokyo and Kyoto, which both were fantastic.
Yeah.
And then been to Europe a few times. So
Okay.
you know, Spain, Italy, France,
Fantastic.
Netherlands, United Kingdom,
Yeah,
all
that's
around.
great.
So
That's great.
Yeah.
What would be a fourth thing?
well, you might see me around town, and maybe you didn't know it was me, or maybe you did. But I do run a lot, and so I did have the opportunity to run track and cross country at the University of Georgia when I was in undergrad.
Okay.
But also I still keep up with it, and there's a local run club in town called the Kaka'ako Run Club.
Ah.
I help with running that, and no pun intended, and coming up with workouts and things like that. So if you're training for a 5K, a 10K,
Right.
a marathon,
Right.
feel free to come on out. Every Tuesday we meet up, and it's a really fun group, a really good group of people, and I'd say just the running community is a great community here in Hawaii.
What would be a fifth thing we do not know about you?
I would say the last thing is I like to dabble in I guess a couple hobbies. I'll
Okay.
just mention that. So
Okay.
one of them is I like to cook and bake a lot.
Ah.
So bread is probably my specialty. I make loaves of bread pretty regularly, so it could be like a French loaf or a baguette, or I do a recipe that's based off of the New York Times no knead loaf. It's kind of like a garlic and basil loaf I like a lot. But another thing I didn't think about is I also really enjoy like a trivia night. And so one thing that I do is, at least when I can, is I like to go out and go to might be a pub trivia or something like that.
Oh yeah.
But I actually used to host a trivia.
Okay.
So for a couple of years there, I would go to this restaurant and I would host a trivia night once a week, sometimes a couple times a week. And it was just a lot of fun.
That
It's a
is
fun
fun.
community
Yeah.
to get to know, and always get to learn a little bit too when you're there. Which
I
is,
know,
which is
right.
nice.
Well, thanks for spending a little bit of time with us, getting to learn more about you and about the DPT program, the exciting
Sure.
DPT program. And I hope you have a great spring semester, and aloha.
Yeah, aloha. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.